This series will teach you how to paint a portrait from start to finish. It's meant to help my students with a specific project, but it can help other artists too. This video shows you how to finish painting your portrait. Step 9 is to paint your hair and eyebrows. When we paint the hair, we do it in a few steps. First, we mix a darker version of your hair color. We're going to use this as the base of the hair before we paint lighter strands of hair on top. Focus the darker color on the hair along the sides of your neck and hair that is closer to your face. I highly recommend looking at a photo of yourself, like I'm doing here, to look at how your hair falls and where the shadows are. Next, mix a lighter version of your hair color. You can see that I added some yellow, red, and a tiny bit of white to the color I already had to make my hair blonder. I'm painting that color wherever I currently don't have any paint representing my hair. I'll also paint it in some of the areas I want to start to lighten. I'll also use this color in my eyebrows. When I paint them, I try and move my brush in the direction that the hairs grow. Later, I'll add a few hairs in a highlight color to give them some dimension. Next, I mix an even lighter version of my hair color by adding red and yellow to brighten it, and I start to add areas of highlight to my hair. Pay attention to the photo or mirror that you're using to see where to place the highlights. I continue to mix lighter versions of my hair color using white to add more highlights. I'm using this color to start to define the individual strands of my hair. Keep going with this process until you're happy with your results. Towards the end, I went back with a darker color and added more texture to my hairline with short, thin brushstrokes. It will make the hair look more natural on the head. As a last step, I like to go back into the hair with a thin brush to add some detail to the strands. I did this in my case because I thought the strands looked too chunky, but you don't have to do this step. To finish your painting, paint in any symbols you haven't done already. For me, that's the symbols in front of my body since I worked back to front. If you feel comfortable with your painting abilities, feel free to end the video now. I've included a very sped up recording of me painting in the rest of my symbols in case you'd like to see my process. I'm doing the same thing that I've been talking about the entire video, painting back to front and dark to light, painting in small details last. I did take a shortcut right at the end and use a Posca marker to add the text into the book, which you can do for your details if you'd like. Here's what my portrait looks like all finished. If you're my student and you watched all the way to the end, good job. If you're not my student, thank you for watching and I hope this is helpful.